watching Coach's Corner on SportsTownChicago.com. Today I'm here with head girls volleyball coach at Providence Catholic High School, Rachel Ellingson. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing today?
Fantastic.
Early
Fantastic.
Morning?
Not too early. Not too early. Usually at work by now.
Awesome. Well, we're interested for you to tell us a little bit more about yourself, a little bit more about volleyball. We know that you have been assistant coach since 2000, correct?
Correct.
And then head coach since 2010?
Yes.
So how was that transition? Was it kind of organic?
Well, it's interesting because I played at Providence myself. I played under Nana Rolla, who coached at Providence for 37 years, and coached with her for 10 years. So it was a great transition and an easy transition. I think she prepared me very well.
Good. What are there certain things that Nan liked to do that you brought to the girls? Some, things that you just either thought would stick or was imperative for the girls to know?
I think the one thing that the girls would really say is the voice. I have a voice similar to Nan when we go up an octave. So when we're coaching and on the sidelines, they like to hear that voice, I think. But a lot of the philosophy that goes along with Providence Catholic Volleyball, I brought along with me. She was a great mentor and still is a great mentor and friend.
Very good. So then how has the program changed? You mentioned you went to high school there and then, working with Nan to where you guys are now.
I think Nan was there for 37 years. And over the time that I coached with her, we really stayed up on the latest changes in volleyball, and there has been a lot of changes in volleyball since when I played. From regular scoring to rally scoring to let serves. But, we all evolve and learn those new things. So really the philosophy for our program is, obviously everyone wants to win, but our job is to produce great students, great athletes, and use athletics as a tool for life.
That's awesome. So then how important is it, how much do you stress grades, being academically stable? It's not just about volleyball, it's altogether a well-rounded package.
It isn't. They are students first and athletes second. To me, athletics is icing on the cake. You come to Providence for academics. When you meet Krista, you'll find she's a very academically sound student. We monitor grades at Providence, so students have to be passing their courses in order to participate. That comes first and foremost.
So then what made you decide to go to Providence after graduating college? We know you went to Miami of Ohio.
I did.
On a volleyball scholarship.
Yes.
So what made you decide to go back there?
I just love volleyball, and I love Providence. I truly think that Providence is a school that brings back a lot of its alumni. We have 32 people at Providence that went there, that work there. I always say we have green blood running through our veins. It seemed like the natural progression for me. I love high school kids. I love volleyball. I have a high schooler myself. It just really was the natural progression to just end up there and kind of spend the rest of my life there. That's how I feel.
It was like fate.
It was.
Awesome. So do you guys have any pre-game rituals or any superstitions or anything that you like to do yourself or with the team prior to going on the court?
Like the girls actually do team dinners and team sleepovers before matches. They do go to the grotto, which we have on campus, and they say their prayers before our matches. We always tell them you have to thank God for your abilities that He's given to you. So that's usually, and then they do their own thing. They do their own thing. I let them go on their own and prepare mentally for the game. And we have pregame talks, probably like any other coach does.
Right. Very good. And looking back on the year, can you tell me any of your best memories or the craziest, or what really stuck out in your mind this past year?
Really, the girls are my best memories. They were a fantastic bunch. They really were. We had 5 seniors. all of whom played. We have some great juniors. They were a goofy bunch, but they knew when to take things seriously when they need to. They brought a lot of heart to the team, a lot of fun, and hard work to practice. And I always think that you need that balance. I told Krista's coach, who was my college coach, I said, we thank God every day that we have her. And she's going to be sorely missed, as well as the other 4 seniors.
Very good. Awesome. So Rachel, can you tell us a little bit more about how it's been coaching Krista? You've had her since she was a freshman, correct?
Yeah, she started on the sophomore team as a freshman and has been a 3-year varsity starter. Krista is a true leader. She knows the game of volleyball. She runs the court. You know, I don't need to instruct that part of her game. You know, we do more instruction during practice and things like that. But once she's out there, she knows her teammates, she knows their strengths and weaknesses, and she's able to run that court as she should, as a setter should.
That's awesome. So it's a very tight-knit group.
It is, and in Krista's position as a setter, they are similar to a quarterback on a football team. Right. She's calling plays, you know, she's talking to them, communicating with them, letting them know what she needs in order to, you know, better the ball. And
do you think that's something that maybe has rubbed off on her from you and all of your coaching skills?
Well, her mother was a setter too.
So the family too.
I think she has a very good volleyball background before Providence even. Her IQ or knowledge of the game is there. I like to think that I had a good part in that, but she does have a natural ability to lead.
That's amazing. And well, obviously you do too. You have sent 2 players to the All-Star game, right?
Correct.
And I mean, how is that? How do you prepare the girls to be at that point?
You know, they do a lot of preparation. They play high school and then they play club volleyball. So they are getting a dose of volleyball 9 to 10 months out of the year. You know, I believe to be an all-star, you have to be mentally strong, physically strong, and understand volleyball. And I think Krista this year and Nora Mitros last year both possess those qualities.
Awesome. You're watching SportsTownChicago.com and the Coach's Corner. When we come back, we will have Providence Catholic High School setter Krista Brakauskus. Hi, welcome to SportsTownChicago.com. You're watching the Coach's Corner, and I'm here with Providence Catholic High School's senior setter, Krista Brakauskus. Thank you for being here today, Krista.
Thanks for having me.
All right, ready to get started?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about just how you got started in volleyball?
Well, my mom played volleyball, and she's always stressed that really big. And my dad actually played too, so volleyball has been such a big role in all of our lives. So we kind of joke around saying that my mom bred me to be a volleyball player. We say, like, she forced me to be a lefty, and we joke around with her, and she's like, well, maybe.
Were you ever allowed to try any other sports?
I did. She always supported me with everything, so I played club soccer and club basketball, so I got to play a little bit of everything, but after a while, I decided I definitely want to play volleyball.
What is it specifically about volleyball that you like the best?
I like the idea of being like more of a leader, because in basketball I played everything like all around, but I never got the chance to kind of control the team and just like be able to be connected. But with volleyball, I just always felt that I was connected with all my teammates, and I just loved it.
That's awesome. Your coach did say that you guys are a really tight-knit group. What kind of team bonding things do you guys do?
We did a lot of things. Like once before this tournament, we like to do this thing where we play with like an imaginary ball. So we would
Does it have to be imaginary only?
we always do imaginary for some reason. So we pretend that we're like bowling with each other and we just fall and stuff, and we always just laugh and always have a fun time with like bowling and all that stuff in our pasta dinners before games.
That's awesome. Do you feel that that is specific to this year's team? Has it always been that way at Providence?
I think the pasta dinners are always a fun thing that we do at Providence, where we always get to just eat a ton of food and talk and just have a fun time. But each year it's a different kind of group of people. So like last year we had so much fun, but it was so many different kinds of girls.
Right.
So there were so many different personalities and stuff. And this year it's just every single person loved to be around everyone. And each year it's just a different kind of being close.
That's really awesome. So you mentioned before that, you know, you were bred to play volleyball and to be a lefty and be a setter, but I had read somewhere that you had tried different positions in volleyball too, right?
Well, I always wanted to be a hitter, kind of, but I knew after a while it always came back to setting because my mom always wanted that, but after a while I finally realized that I wanted that too.
And that you're the best at it, right?
Right.
Which is why you are going to Miami of Ohio in the
Right.
fall, and you'll be playing setter there, right?
Right.
So what was it exactly? Was it the coach, the team members, the campus? What specifically about Miami of Ohio were you attracted to?
Well, when I visited there, it was just such an amazing thing. Like, the campus was beautiful, which was a plus. But when I saw the team, they were so close, and the coaches were so focused on helping the players with everything, like with academics and making sure that they get a job in the future. So it was just everything mixed together that just made me definitely want to go. And when I visited there, I just knew that I wanted to go there.
Speaking of academics, what are you looking to study there?
I'm actually looking to study biomedical engineering.
That's great.
Yeah.
What would you like to do with that degree?
I actually want to work in a hospital so I can work with things like brains and stuff, so I can help design some things that can help patients with that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any other goals, you know, maybe even outside of volleyball or pertaining to volleyball? I read that your coach used to help coach the Olympics, right?
Right.
So is that something that's ever on your mind? How far are you looking to go?
I mean, that would be amazing. I would love to do that, but every year I'm just going to keep trying hard to hopefully maybe get in that chance. But I think it would also be fun to play overseas or something like that after college.
Which you guys will, right?
Right, yeah, we're doing that our junior year, so that'll be really exciting.
Is that the first time that they've ever done anything like this?
They usually do it every 3 years, but they switch the areas. Like last year they went to Europe, and I'm not sure where we're going, so it's a surprise.
Well, that'll be awesome.
I'm excited.
Do you specifically, or does your Providence team, or do the Miami of Ohio girls, what do you guys do to prepare for a game? You know, besides the pasta dinners, the team bondings, do you have any little superstitions, any socks, hair ties, anything like that?
Well, as a team, we always go to the grotto, like Coach Rachel said, and we kind of just talk about what our game plan is, and then we kind of have a conversation with Mary, which is a little goofy at sometimes, but when we need to get down to business, we know, and then we always pray. And what I kind of do, I always have my hair in a braid. For some reason, I just have to have it in a braid, or else I'll just play off.
That's your thing?
Oh, yeah.
That's really cool. So you also went to the All-Star game this year, right?
Right.
How was that?
It was awesome, because I know all those people playing them against school teams and club teams, and it was just so amazing to see all these people that are so great and playing with them. So it was such a high level of volleyball, and it was just so much fun being able to play with some of the girls that I've always wanted to play with.
That's awesome. So speaking of club volleyball, you do high school volleyball in the fall, club volleyball in the spring, right?
Right.
So can you tell us, are there any different rules, differences in practices? What kind of is the differentiation between the both of them?
Well, club it's very like competitive, so we always have tournaments on the weekends, and there's a lot of practices that also have like velocity training and lifting. So it's really competitive, but both are obviously competitive. But
Right.
club is just a lot of traveling and a lot of tournaments on every weekend.
And how do you guys do on the road? Is just traveling, is that something that kind of like affects your mindset? You have to be extra prepared, or do you guys kind of thrive off of that?
The traveling tournaments are usually like the more important tournaments, so we always make sure that we are ready for that, and that's what we train all year for. So traveling is one of the most fun and most important things.
Cool. And so then looking back on not only this year, but let's go ahead and say your entire volleyball career, do you have any favorite moments, best games, anything you kind of wish you could do over? What?
Well, I loved last year's game against Bennett, which they obviously were the state champions last year, and we got to play them for a conference game, and we actually beat them. But it was kind of really funny because during the second game, the power went out. So we were all like,
Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're like, oh my gosh, like we have to like play, we have to do it now. So I think it just got us all so excited because we were like, we have to play. And once the lights got on, it just got super competitive and really intense.
Okay, that's going to wrap things up for us. Thank you to Krista Brakauskus for being here today, and head coach Rachel Ellington. To check out more Coach's Corner, go to sportstownchicago.com. I'm Lori. See you later.